What's up, guys? It's your boy it's your boy Thought Hater 69
and Cute Boy 76
and your boy Cute Boy 76
or Cute Boy 83. You can call me whatever.
or you can call him whatever.
You can call me whatever. Okay, you understand me? You understand me?
Okay, so since I got a special guest on my channel today, and his favorite kind of videos are scary animation videos, so we're gonna react to some of them.
My long black alien fingers.
Okay, so we're gonna react to some of those videos that this man loves so much.
A Scary Vacation Story 3. So there must have been a 2 and a 1.
Well, we're just gonna be watching the third one. This is
Who cares?
Scary Vacation Story 3. We're gonna.
During my holiday, I spent about 3 weeks in Japan. I arrived pretty late, so I couldn't check into the hotel that I initially booked, so I booked the cheapest hotel that I could find nearby. Aesthetically, it was quite nice, but it did
Never do that. Never book the cheap hotels, because those ones are like, got the bugs in them. They got the creeps up in there, murderers. Yeah, you don't want the cheap ones.
They basically have the broke people inside the hotel.
The broke people.
Go get your middle class hotel or your high class hotel.
That's where it's at.
have easy access to the building, meaning anyone could come in and go to any room as they please. Plus, there was no security in sight. After arriving in my room, I ordered some food and watched some TV. I was still pretty jet-lagged from the flight, so I started to get ready for bed. As I was falling asleep, I felt the urge to double-check the door just to see if it was locked. I didn't think anything was going to...
See, now this guy's smart.
Smart man.
He's one of the smartest people I know. All right.
Yeah, I would do that too.
Because if you're in these scary situations, usually there's those people that investigate. This guy's very smart.
He's making sure.
Hopefully he doesn't investigate.
to happen, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. About 5 minutes after I checked the door, I heard footsteps outside. Initially, I thought it was someone leaving their room, but the footsteps started to pick up speed. The sound started getting louder and louder, and I started to freak out a little. All of a sudden, the sound stopped. I looked at the light shining through the bottom of my door.
Oh my god.
Get out of there.
If you see feet outside of your door and you don't know who it is,
get out of there.
You get out. You either call room service or you get the hell out of there. All right.
You get out of there.
There's a window behind you.
Just dip.
Even if you're on the 17th floor,
dip.
You gotta jump out.
There was a shadow of a person. At first I thought it was room service, but it was too late for that.
If it was room service, they would have knocked on the door and been like, room service.
And also you would have ordered it, so
yeah,
you would have known. So, this guy's kind of dumb now. I don't like him.
He's dumb.
Or maybe it was some drunk idiot who was at the wrong room. As soon as I switched my light on, the shadow disappeared. I was confused, but I reluctantly went back to bed. That's when I suddenly heard scratching coming from my door, so I immediately turned my light on and shouted, "Who's there?" After a moment of silence, I heard the footsteps.
That's where you go wrong. Yelling "who's there"? Is this something you would do?
I don't know. I mean, I probably would, because you'd be like, who's there, just to find it out. But
if it was...
I would still dip. I'd probably run. I'd be like, Kate, I'm going.
But if no one's saying nothing, like...
I'm dipping. I'm just dipping.
And if it was room service or if it was housekeeping, they'd be like, housekeeping or...
I don't know. I'm dipping. That's all I know.
Yeah, me too.
Slowly fade away. At this point, I was thinking it could be some kids messing around, so I got up, opened the door, and peeked my head outside.
Run. This is where you run outside and you leave the whole goddamn building. This moment right here.
I glanced in both directions down the dark and slim hallways. That's when my heart stopped. A man emerged from the darkness and ran erratically towards me. His face was contorted as he screamed, and I could see he was holding a knife in his right hand.
Don't stand in the hallway. Don't look. Don't keep staring at him. You get inside of your room and you lock the door.
He looks so calm. He's just like, oh,
this person's running at me with a knife.
Oh, there's just some weird black figure over there.
This guy looks like a really nice guy. Let me just let him shank me.
Maybe I'll give him my Instagram, my
Snapchat.
Snapchat.
Yo. Subscribe.
Yeah, maybe I say subscribe to him.
Subscribe.
Who knows? He seems like a good guy.
This is nice. Very
Got
nice.
closer, I could see him more clearly. He had disgusting long, dirty hair. His clothes were ripped, and he had cuts and bruises all over. I quickly slammed my door and pressed against it, praying that the man would just go away. After what felt like hours, I finally gathered my courage and looked through the peephole. He was gone. I let out a sigh of relief and checked the peephole again. My heart started pumping faster than ever before. He was right in front of the door. He was wearing a maniacal smile on his face, and all of a sudden he raised his knife and yelled, "I'm gonna fucking kill you!"
You gotta keep this family friendly.
That was intense. I don't know. That was, yep, we need a family, just family friendly. Family friendly. But hey, I'll keep this in. This can stay in for you guys.
Because we love you.
We love you.
I jumped back and kept my eyes locked on the bottom of the door as I backed up to my bed. I grabbed my phone and started dialing the police. As I raised the phone to my ear, I saw that the shadow was gone. When the police arrived, I tried to explain what happened, and they checked the security cameras. They almost immediately recognized the man. He had been doing this to people for a while now, and the police had been trying to track him down for months. After a long night of no sleep, I finally arrived at the right hotel that I had booked initially in Tokyo. That creepy guy was still on my mind, but I thought the chances of him being here were pretty slim, so I didn't bother locking my door that night.
You know, because did he just say I didn't bother locking my door that night?
Locking.
What a dumb kid.
See, this is how people die in movies, okay?
Why wouldn't you lock the door either way? Even like if you weren't scared. Cause like you don't want nobody barging in your room.
If someone comes in your room like, yo,
What's the Wi-Fi password? Like you don't want that.
if someone like, yo, you got Wi-Fi, you're like,
I don't know.
this dude's dumb as hell.
12:05 a.m. I woke up to a big bang next to me. I turned around to see the same guy passed out on the floor, with a knife in hand. I was in shock. How did he find me? I quit.
This is why you lock your door.
Lock your door, everyone. So dumb.
You're lucky this guy passed out, or else he would have went bah, 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 and shanked you in the neck. All right, like that. He would have killed you. Okay.
Ran out of the room and locked him inside. The cops came and he was finally arrested.
So now he locks his door. Now he does it.
Locks him inside.
I mean, hey, it worked, didn't it? So the cops came, he got arrested,
The
everyone's
dude
happy.
should have locked him outside, not inside.
Well, yeah.
Because if that guy didn't pass out, like
Everyone-
I said before, they went bah, 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 shank, shank. Sorry, shank,
I
shank.
actually got punched there in the ear.
Sorry.
That-
You're fine. Breathe. You're fine.
That's racist.
How is that racist?
That was just racist.
Okay, whatever.
So this is a bus stop horror story. I live in the city. I take a bus quite often. You do the same because we live together. So, I can relate to this one. So we're gonna watch it.
City buses, but this is probably out of the country bus, like a beaver bus kind of
Well-
thing.
This happened when I was 17 years old. I would go to the gym 3 to 4 times a week and ride the bus home. It was a Sunday and I had just missed my bus, so I had to wait longer for another one. I would have called my parents, but they were out for the evening, and taxis charged more, so I decided to sit and wait in the bus shelter. It was a cold night and snow had just started peppering the ground. My bus was taking longer than usual, so I got my phone out and listened to some music. Almost an hour had passed. It was freezing and I hadn't seen anyone at all. That was until I noticed something out of the corner of my eye. It was a creepy guy dressed in thick layers of clothing.
Run. All I'm saying is run. I'm gonna say that for everything. Every time I get scared, you just run.
If you see a man with a beard, he's looking at you like that, and a receding hairline that looks like John Wick,
Run.
you get out of there, alright?
You get out of there. run as fast as you can.
The Salvation Army dressing that, bro.
walking slowly towards me. I knew staring at him would draw more attention, so I just focused on my phone. He sat down at the other end of the shelter and just stared at me. There was something off about
If he stares at you, you stare at him back.
That's a pedophile stare right there. Not gonna lie.
I can't get
He's
over
like,
his hairline. Like if I was the guy sitting at that bus stop on my phone, I'd look at him and just smack his forehead and be like, go for it.
His 5 head.
Give him a
Roasted.
quick.
Roasted.
him. He seemed like he was either drunk or on drugs. He then asked,
When is the bus due?
I took out my earphones and said, I think it's delayed because of the snow. He stared at me for a while, then started mumbling to himself. He was really starting to creep me out, so I
Kids, this is why you don't do drugs, alright?
No drugs.
Don't do drugs.
Don't do drugs. Kids out there, don't do drugs.
Don't. And if you're listening, keep listening to your music, look at him. Just stare at him.
Okay, that's kind of weird.
If he stares at you, you stare at him.
Okay, you could use his technique where stare at the person, or you can use mine, run. Whatever one works best for
like,
you.
if you're in that situation, if you're the type of person you just sit there.
I would still run. I'm gone.
I mean, for me, if I were a person who do that, I would.
the bus
run.
goes on different. It stops a whole bunch of different places. I'm running. I'm gonna go to a different bus stop.
I'm gonna run home.
Okay, run home too.
pretended to be on my phone. After a couple of minutes, I took another look. He'd moved closer to me. I looked away for
Move farther away.
a second, then heard the sound of him sliding even closer. I turned to him and said, You okay there? He stared at me with glossy eyes, lifted his arm and leaned towards me. Immediately, I grabbed my bag and ran as he felt.
Bro, that was the most.
That's my technique there with girls. I sit there, I stare at them, and then I move closer.
No.
And I put my arms out and I'm like, sup, baby girl?
No.
No?
I'm not a girl.
Well, I know, I'm just using you as an example.
I'm not your example.
He's an example, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Breathing in.
To the ground. I ran down the road trying my hardest not to look back. I kept going until I got to the next bus stop. I turned around to check to see if he was there. He was gone, so I went to sit down. Feeling relieved, I rested my head on the back of the glass and waited for the bus.
He's 100% gonna come back around the corner and say,
Sup, baby girl?
no.
I jolted and turned around to see the same guy staring at me through the glass.
What the hell is wrong with you?
Then he started walking around the shelter towards me.
If you see him walking around the... If he tried grabbing you before and he's walking around the glass, there's a 100% chance he's gonna try grabbing you again.
Run.
And that's why you run.
Jesus.
Some people are dumb as hell.
I'm warning you, stay back.
I yelled in panic as I was backing up. I wanted to run, but I left my bag in the shelter and I couldn't leave without it. Suddenly, the man leaped at me and I quickly moved out of the way. He fell to the ground face first. I froze in shock, then noticed the blood coming from his face. I tried to get a response out of him, but nothing worked. I called the police and paramedics and they arrived shortly after. I told them what had happened and they told me that the guy was on prescription drugs. They found a photo in his wallet of him and his son. The boy looked just like me, so we assumed he thought I was him. I later learned that he had lost his son in a custody battle.
So, I guess he tried kidnapping his son there?
That's crazy. That's probably what he thought. He thought that was his son.
Yeah. Okay, well, I guess, damn.
That's crazy. Holy. That's...
Play it till the end, too.
And went off the rails. He was taken away for treatment, and that was the last I saw of him. I got my driver's license shortly after, and have never been on a bus since.
Did you
That
see?
was weird.
Did you see that
I
at
saw
the
his
end?
stupid little face in the
Here,
floor.
here. I'll try to play it again for y'all.
And have never been on a bus since.
Right there. He's right there. He's hiding in the
He
forest.
looks like he's... He looks like he's he looks like he's under the influence.
Damn.
Drugs.
So that was, yeah. So I guess he thought that was his son. So he tried like
He's like
kidnapping
looking
him.
around the corner. He's like, "Hey there, little boy.
Well, so yeah. I mean, hey.
You got some nice teeth, our little boy."
Great. Okay. So that was the video, ladies and gentlemen.
I hope you enjoyed.
Hope you enjoyed it. The special guest, Nicky and Sumner, and not Nicky and Sumner, and boy.
Oh, can I say boy too?
Yeah, you can say boy too. Boy. Boy. Peace, y'all.